Hello, knife lovers. Welcome to Knife Delights. Well, today I want to share with you another one of my antique store finds. I picked up this knife a couple weeks ago. It is another knife from a maker that I did not know existed. So I have a new knife maker to add to my collection with a brand new Tang stamp to it. So today we're going to be going over the Klaus Stockman. I'd like to take a moment here to thank all my subscribers and all the new subscribers that the channel's been getting. And I want to remind everybody that if you'd like to receive a Knife Delights sticker, why, all I ask is that you be a subscriber and maybe leave a comment on one of my videos. And you simply need to email me your name and address to knifedelights@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to get a sticker in the mail to you. So I guess I'd like to ask you to bear with me here for just a moment before we actually do the knife review. I'd like to go over the company history just a little bit. Klaus Cutlery was founded in 1877 as Elyria Shear Works by John and Henry Klaus in Elyria, Ohio. I hope I'm coming close to the pronunciation of the town name. But anyway, at one time it was the largest knife maker, or the largest maker of scissors and shears in the world. It was started in a one-room building, and together with 5 employees, they began manufacturing scissors, shears, straight razors, and serrated kitchen knives. In 1887, the company moved to Fremont, Ohio, to be near an abundant supply of natural gas. A 2-story plant was erected, and 3,000 shears and scissors were made each day. In 1889, the plant was destroyed by fire. A new plant was built in less than 4 months, and the company's name was changed to the Klaus Shear Company. In 1919, Klaus merged with Henkel. The Henkel-Klaus merger created a company of 1,000 employees. John Klaus died later that year, and his brother Henry, the other co-founder, he had left sometime during this time, and he went off onto his own ventures. In 1954, the name was changed to Klaus Cutlery Company to avoid confusion with a German cutlery firm, J.S. Henkel's. In 1967, Klaus was taken over by Alco Standard Corporation. They made tools for an industrial niche markets such as surgical scissors, heavy-duty metal shears, poultry shears, etc. In 2004, the company was bought by Acme United Corporation. This is the same corporation that bought the Camillus name. Interesting enough, in the 1920s, Fremont claimed 25 cutlery businesses and was known as the Cutlery Center of the World. So, here is the Klaus Stockman. And in doing the measuring and such, I'm not sure if it's considered to be a standard size Stockman or if it is a medium Stockman or a small Stockman. I'm not quite sure, what length, closed length determines that. So just to get started here, we'll compare it with the Buck 301 Stockman, and you can see it's a little bit smaller, so maybe it's considered to be a medium Stockman. And when we get to going over the blades, it has a unique blade configuration to it. Kind of, I guess, thought more to be along a cattle knife with the blades that are available. But a cattle knife has equal ends here, or sometimes called a cigar shape. And you can see it's on a serpentine frame there, so that would make it a Stockman. Now I am going to try to show you the Tang stamp here, but I got to tell you, the Tang stamp is not the most crisp Tang stamp. And I had to do a little bit of cleaning to really get it to show up. So the first line is Klaus, C-L-A-U-S-S in cursive, and then it has Fremont, Ohio, second line, and then the third line is USA. And Fremont is spelled with one E. So in doing my research on Klaus knives, the slip joint knives, it is believed that Case was contracted to make the Klaus slip joint knives. I noted as I was doing my research on the company history, nowhere in the history does it mention, making slip joint knives. So I wondered, did they contract all their slip joints out? Along with Case, there's speculation and belief that, Klaus contracted with other companies to make their knives. One reason why they believe Case made a lot of them is the Case knife experts, as they look at things, they can identify the patterns, and the Klaus knife patterns seem to mirror the Case patterns. Now, this knife doesn't have a shield on it, but a lot of the Klaus knives with the shields have the very traditional Case oval shield on it. So that just kind of lends to the theory that Case made a lot of their knives. So now we'll go ahead and get to the actual review of the knife. The closed length is 3 3/4 inches, and it has 3 blades, Stockman 3 blade, of which the main blade is a clip point, and it's approximately 2 5 inches long. And it has a Spay blade. And that seems to be a pretty tall Spay blade there. And the Spay blade is about 1 5/8 inches. And then it has a pen blade. And the pen blade is about 1 1/2 inches, the cutting surface. So you will note that it does not have a sheepsfoot blade, which I always thought was kind of standard blade there on the Stockman. The Stockman would have the clip point, and then the sheepsfoot, and then the third blade would be, a pen blade or a file or this and that. So just kind of shows that there is no standardization, and every knife maker would come out with their own configurations. They do have half stops. And it has 2 springs, and we have nickel silver bolsters and pins, and steel liners, and I believe these covers to be bone. And a lot of the examples of Klaus knives I found on the internet, they all had bone covers to them. So as you can see, this is a lot lighter on this side. I'm sorry, this one's a lot lighter on this side than on this side. So that kind of helps me to determine that they're bone, because natural materials, they don't always, dye the same. And it has the finish or the feel of bone. And you can see here in the transition, it looks like there's some shrinkage. So I'm pretty certain, 95% sure that that's jigged bone there. So we'll just quick like here, check out the weight of this knife. And it comes in at 2.3 ounces. Or for those across the pond, 66 grams. So I'd just like to spend a minute or two here talking about my antique store finds. Normally they're not in mint condition. I don't have the boxes for them. But I just think it's important to get these knives, rescue them if you will. I've done some cleaning up on this. It did have some rust. The blades were hard to open and close, but with a little bit of oil and cleaning, I've knocked off most of the rust out of the pivots. And you can see it has pretty decent walk and talk. I can do a little more work on that. There's blemishes on the blades, and there's a couple little chips on some of the blades. You can see a little chip there, and the end of it's been sharpened off, so it's not to an acute point. But for me, it doesn't have to be in mint condition. We've preserved another piece of history, and someday when I have the time and the tools, I plan on restoring a lot of these knives and doing a better job. But for right now, I've got the rust knocked off, everything's oiled down. It's going to stop, further deterioration. So I just love finding these knives. So that's the importance of preserving this history. I want to thank you for spending your time here on the channel. If you like this content, please consider subscribing. Shopping at antique stores for your knives and flea markets or secondhand stores is an inexpensive way to bring delight to your collection. So until next time, have a great day.